Welcome in, everybody. I'm Joey, and welcome to a brand new series. So I've done a couple of videos where I've done some of your suggestions for cars to use, and I figured, why don't I just make this into a series, and we can just keep it going, and hopefully maybe one day get to like episode 1 million or something like that, and we will have done every single car that's ever been in Forza, and there will be no more suggestions left to do. But today, you just saw it there. This is the Volvo 242, and it is an absolute beast. Shout out to Scott Lancaster for the suggestion. He suggested another car. It was the Ford Falcon we did in a different video, and that was an absolute beast. This thing is no different either. These cars, Scott, I don't know how you find these cars, man, but they are sneaky quick, and I've been using this thing more than just the clips that I'm going to show in this video. It is an awesome car, this little Volvo. But we're starting off at Le Mans. This is the variation with the chicanes on the straight. And it's been a pretty eventful first lap already. That first corner is always going to be ridiculous, and it was this time around. We had like 5 people trying to go into the corner at one time. We've got a GTR spinning the tires, going right off the track. He saw the straight. He didn't want anything to do with it. He knew he didn't have the power. He saw the Volvo coming, and he just dipped the fuck out. But now here we go, down the straight, right behind Valkyrie here, who looks to be pulling away from us just a tiny bit. I have no idea where my braking point is for these turns here. I can't explain how many times I've driven on this track, and I still haven't figured it out. This time, I seem to have gotten it down pretty well. The guy to my right, and who's now on my left, who decided to rejoin the track and just absolutely crushed me after cutting the whole chicane. So that was not very nice, but we continue nonetheless down the straight again. And what do you know, I don't know where my braking point is for this one either. Really what I do is I look for the 200 board, which I think is on the right side of this chicane coming up here. Yep, there it is right now, just passing that. And that's when I know I should probably consider starting to brake, and I go way too deep there. So probably maybe braking between that 200 and 100 board would have been better. But yeah, again, I've driven this track millions of times. Still have no idea where to brake. I think that's probably because these tracks are so power oriented, and the last thing I'm thinking about is braking or handling, getting around corners, anything like that. All I'm thinking about is these straights. And this last corner into the hairpin, I have no idea where to brake here either. You can see I'm feathering the brake, just trying to figure out when I can start turning in. Actually doesn't work out too bad, and I'm pretty close to second and third still. Looks like first place is about 5.5 seconds ahead, so he's got a pretty good head start down the straight already. We're going to fast forward to the right-hander here, and we've got a couple of guys that didn't know we were turning right because they are already off the track. And that's going to give me the fast pass right into second place. Coming into the second right-hander here, or not the second right-hander, the first was a left. Now we're going into the right. Amazingly, I take that okay. Usually I'm sailing way past that corner, kind of like I did here, right into the sand. I had it pretty nicely done, and then I just feathered the throttle a little bit too much, sent her into the sand. I give up second place, and that's where I'm going to end up finishing right in third. Now we move on to VIR, and I'm going to be on the front row for this one, which isn't always a great place to be. There's usually a bit of crashing going on at turn 1 here, but we'll see how we do. We got first place already, up from second place, so that's a good start. Coming into corner 1, we've got an indicator at the bottom of our screen. We're going to get a tap from the behind, but that looks to be about it, so pretty good start there. And I was pretty much in first place for this entire race until lap 4 here, where I got challenged by a purple GTR behind me. Give me a little tap on the back. He's going to look up the inside, but the acceleration of this Volvo is going to cover that off by the final turn. We're going to come around here, accelerate out onto the straight, and we're going to be just fine and leave him to battle with third place back there. So this Volvo, seriously, if you can get it around the corners, which honestly the handling isn't all that bad, it's going to put you in a position to win some races. So I feel very comfortable recommending this thing to you guys. Scott, you absolutely hit the nail on the head again. There are the lap times. I was a little bit off pace, I think by maybe 6/10 but it doesn't matter because we're having a Miller Lite Shoey, and we move on to Miami now. Homestead, great track, and I think it favors the Volvo quite a bit. Good acceleration, pretty good top speed. Let's see what we can do here. So we've got the inside of Scorpio heading into corner 2 now. Gonna drop down back into second gear, try to get around the Corvette. I'm getting pinned to the inside, and we're gonna be stuck on the outside for the next corner here. Looking for the cutback. It's not quite gonna come off, but the acceleration is gonna bring me right back around the BMW, and we're gonna start reeling in that Corvette up front. Down in the second gear, around the 90-degree right-hander, coming up on a straight now, so hopefully we can gauge whether or not we're going to have a higher top speed than the couple of guys up front here. It looks like we're about even. We might be reeling in the Corvette just a tiny bit. Braking at the 200 board into the hairpin, Scorpio is going to look up the inside again. That's going to pin me to the outside, going the long way around. Acceleration is going to put me right back up into third place though, so not too worried about that one. We're reeling in the Corvette now, but we're coming up on the tricky left-hander. I usually look for the last palm tree on the left and brake a little bit before that and start turning in. The Forza gods know I've done my fair share of eating the grass through that corner. Coming around the final turn now, first, second, and third, and fourth actually, all bunched up, nice and close. We've got a good race on our hands for this one. We're going to go side by side with the Corvette into turn 1. We get up into second place, get the move done, braking just where the pavement changes colors. Corvette right up alongside us again with a nice move up the inside. The Canadian showing us how to make a move up the inside. Well done from him. Pinned to the outside again, kind of the story of this race, getting pinned to the outside. But we've got the inside corner for the turn onto the straight. I know we've got the acceleration on the BMW, so we're going to power through fourth place up into third place, braking at the first board on the left side into the right-hander here, and hopefully we can hold third place. But the BMW is not out of it. He's still giving it a shout, sticking alongside us through the corner onto the straight. That was a fun little battle with the BMW. We're going to skip forward, coming up on the end of lap 3 now, into the hairpin. First and second, locked in a battle up front. It looks like the Alpha might have gotten a little loose with the back tires. I don't think the Corvette spun them out there. I think that was on the Alpha. We're going to go ahead and capitalize on that as much as we can. Up into first place, into the tricky left-hander, making sure we don't eat grass. I'm going to go a little defensive. I'm going to get a little punt from the back. That's going to push me into the grass. We're going to do a little lawn mowing simulator action here. Corvette he's feeling no remorse. I think there's no other way to put it. He's just off into first place. He wants that win. This is a NASCAR race. We're doing bump and runs apparently. And I'm going to show you what I think about that and just smash myself into the wall. And I think my drive-attire pretty much sums it all up. Just like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Even turns to him. It's like, give him the hand. But we must move on, and so we do, to Abu Dhabi at Yas Marina. I think that guy's name that hit me off was a sock drawer. I think he's graduated to the underwear drawer, if you're asking me. But we've got a little bit of a clusterfuck here into turn 1. A couple of Corvettes knocking each other away. And here's a sock drawer who gives me a nice little love tap after fucking me on that last race. So clearly he doesn't give a shit. Now we're going to try to get around him here, coming into turn, what is this, 3 or 4? We nearly get sideswiped from behind, but we're going to continue on here, getting up onto the curb there. And if you guys have driven Yas Marina, you know if your car gets up onto those curbs on the outside corner, man, you're not going to be able to brake. But the shitty driving continues here. We're trying to go nearly 4 wide into that corner there. It's obviously not going to work out. I spun out an underwear drawer. Don't really feel too bad about that. The Corvette hits the wall on the right side, slows him down. I'm going to try to get a cutback on the both of them up into third place. It works, and we're down the straight to reel in this Mustang up front just a tiny bit. Actually, a little more than a bit. We're really reeling them in here. We're going to get up alongside, side by side, braking into the first turn here. He's going to go a little deep. That's going to give me the run into the chicane here, and I'm going to grab second place right from him. So pretty good start to lap 2. I cut the corner a tiny bit there, but compared to what most people are doing at Yas Marina, I'd say that's just about okay. this track is so notorious for some ridiculous corner cutting. And here's what I was talking about getting up on the curb on lap 1. Here, once you get up there, if you get 2 tires on there, you are not going to be able to brake nearly as well if you had all 4 tires on the track. So that kind of throws me off there. But what I was saying about Yas Marina and the corner cutting, I'm hoping in the next game they switch it up and maybe add a little bit more sticky grass or something around here. I know that wouldn't necessarily be realistic for what Abu Dhabi would look like in real life, but you know, some sticky grass or something just to slow some people down. I think that's for the best. I mean, anything they can do other than just putting more barriers up like they have right here at corner 1, just to kind of slow down the corner cutters and just make the track a little more you know, clean driving friendly, I guess is how I'll put it. Really, anything turn 10 would do on that front would be appreciated. But we skip forward to the end of lap 3 here, coming on to lap 4, coming down the straight behind the Mustang again in 3rd place. We've got a gap of about 7/10 to 4th, up into 2nd place now. So we get the move done coming into turn 1 onto the brakes, and we're going to come on through the chicane nice and easy. Looks like pretty cleanly. Going to cut that last chicane a little bit as we receive a bump from the back side. And then that's pretty much all that happened until the end of lap 6, where we get a little bit of a challenge from the guys behind. But we're going to go ahead, keep 2nd place, and finish it off the right way, sliding it across the line. That's a podium. I'm happy with that. There are the times. We were a little bit off the pace in this one too, maybe a little less than a 1.5 seconds. So we'll look to improve on that at Silverstone here. And this was an awesome race. This was one of the best races I've had in a while, and it was between the 4 of us starting up front, and it ended with the 4 of us at the front. So coming into turn 2 here, we're going to come through, drop down into 2nd gear around just fine. All 4 of us not making contact at all, as racing should be. Sticking close together. Coming through the 2nd hairpin there, I am going to start to fall off just a tiny bit. And down the straight, I'm going to start to fall off just a little bit more. We are going to go ahead and skip ahead, though, to the end of lap 1 when I caught back up again. So coming through the final chicane behind the Alpha so quick. It's always been so quick. It's been like the past 3 Forzas. The Alpha in A-Class and S-Class is an absolute god car. So that's going to be tough to keep up with, but I'll do my best. So we're in 4th place, start of lap 2. We've got a Mustang in front, Alpha in 2nd, and a newer Alpha. I believe that's the 4C in 1st. And I actually believe that is the same 4C that spun out at Miami earlier. I'm not totally sure, but it looks just like it, so I'm going to go ahead and say it is. Coming through the 2nd hairpin and onto the straight. This is basically a carbon copy of lap 1, except the Mustang's going to go wide. Alpha is going to make contact, swerve to the left. I'm up into 3rd place, taking over the Alpha. I'm going to look up the inside of the Mustang into the carousel here, and it looks like I'm not going to get it done. Just about had it. Going to make a move, or at least try to make a move around the outside of the Mustang into the 2nd carousel. Not going to pan out. I'm going to back out and take 3rd place. Look to make another move at an upcoming corner. We've got a slight straight, and it looks like I'm reeling in the Mustang just a tiny bit. We've got the board on the left side coming up. We're going to brake on that down into 3rd. We're going to make contact with the Mustang. A little bit of a domino effect with the Alpha behind also hitting me. Luckily, no one spun out, and we can continue. Now, coming through the S's here, it does get a little loosey-goosey between the 3 of us up front. The Mustang going to look for a move on the Alpha. The Alpha's going to get a little loose on the back end. I'm going to have to react to that. I'm into the side of the Mustang. We're trading paint. The Alpha is still trying to gain control up there. The Mustang and I are trying to find a move ahead of them onto the straight. It's a drag race to the end into the right-hander. I know I've got the acceleration on the both of them up into 1st place. I can still see the Mustang at the bottom left of the screen, so I'm going to have to be wary of that. Down into 3rd gear, getting off the power and off the brakes, letting the car turn and onto the power early once I can see the curb on the left side. Braking just before the curb on the right into the chicane, going to the left and back to the right pretty nicely, taking that pretty nicely. Skipping forward to the final lap now. Braking at that board on the left side like we did before, into third gear, accelerating as soon as we see the curb on the left side. We have an indicator at the bottom of my screen. Valkyrie is right behind me. I'm gonna go like medium defensive into the chicane here. That's gonna give Valkyrie the opportunity to go around the outside. And at this point, I'm thinking, oh my god, did I kind of fuck up? And I kind of fucked up. Valkyrie's going to extend that line right around me and grab first place. Rip my fucking heart out. It was a great race. It's just, man, I wish I could have won that one. Great race all around. I can't be too mad about it, though. Really happy. It's not every day you get a four-way battle for first place for pretty much an entire race. So really love that, and glad it happened. Unfortunate, couldn't get the win though. But that's going to be the video, guys. The first episode of the subscriber suggestions series. Thank you to Scott for the suggestion. Another really good one here, and I know the Volvo 242 is going to be right on the list of all my A-class cars to be using more regularly. So thank you for that, and everybody else, if you have suggestions, leave them in the comments, please. I will be using them, and I'm really excited to get this series started. So be sure to comment those below, and I'll look forward to talking to you guys very soon. Bye, everybody.